Today, we're talking tackling with one of the NFL's all-time great linebackers, Hardy Nickerson. How you have to use proper technique to tackle that guy who can really move, and how you can slow the game down to speed up your play. It's coming up right now. Hey everybody, welcome to Elite Athletes TV. I'm Mike Pulaski, former 11-year pro quarterback and quarterbacks coach here at EliteAthletesTV.com. Today, we're all about defense. We're talking to NFL all-decade team of the 90s, linebacker Hardy Nickerson. He wants to teach you how to tackle even the twitchiest running back with proper form. He also wants to show you how you can slow the game down, which will help you speed up your play. We're going to talk to him about his pregame ritual as well that helped him dial in before the game. Remember, if you're new to the channel, if you love football content, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell. Give us a thumbs up, hit that like button down below, and make sure you comment. We'd love to hear from you. Any video you're looking for, we're happy to make it. Now, let's hear from Hardy about what it was like to tackle Barry Sanders and the tricks he used to stay in position.
What I started working on, knowing that I was playing against this guy, was okay, first, what's the leverage side, right? So which side can I make sure that he cannot cross? Like a ball carrier, if I'm working inside out to the ball, when I'm teaching tackling, I want to track the inside hip, especially if I'm working inside out to the football. I want to track that inside hip all the way until I make contact with the ball carrier, okay? If I'm tracking an inside hip on the ball carrier, I cannot let him cross back to my leverage side. I can't let him cross my face. Can't let him break down my leverage. So what I started doing, especially when I'm playing against a guy like Barry's, when he starts to shake, my feet have got to speed up and I got to maintain that leverage. Sooner or later, he's going to have to commit, or I'll have a teammate coming from the opposite side that will be there to help me out. But at least I did not let him break down my leverage. And that's where those long runs come from. When the leverage of a defensive player is broken down in the open field when trying to make a tackle. When that gets broken, boy, that's when those runs, that's when you see those big runs. So you see those highlights every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, those ball carriers getting in the open field and they're flying down the field, no one's around. Someone has lost their leverage. Fundamentally, as a defensive player, linebackers, we have a leverage side. We want to work that leverage, attack that leverage while we're closing to the football. And then boom, when it's time to make the tackle, we use those fundamental rules: same foot, same shoulder, wrap, and finish.
And that's fantastic. Not that I was a running quarterback by any means, and nobody would have ever accused me of being jukey or having moves. But I found that there were certain dudes that you couldn't get leverage on. In college, it was Eric Turner at UCLA. No matter what I tried to run past him 3 or 4 times, he always kept me in perfect position where I couldn't do anything but go where he wanted me to. And great running backs set up their moves. And it seemed to me like great tacklers also set up their tackles in that way.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it kind of came up with a term that I've heard down the line from one of my position coaches, called it a rubber band tackle. Imagining that you're attached to a rubber band and from the tackler to the ball carrier. And as the ball carrier is running, you're being pulled in that. So you're being pulled in that direction, not so much being pulled over top of them, but just being pulled to that target. You want to attack that target. That if you can use that to your advantage, oh man, you'll make a ton of tackles. I think I can attest to making 500 tackles, and then in the pros going over about 2,000 almost 2,000 tackles. So using your leverage to your advantage is huge as a young and as a seasoned linebacker, seasoned defensive player.
So many young athletes kind of get this mystic idea about what the pros are like and how they think before the games and how they're prepped. And you kind of project onto others what you would like to have as an athlete as you're prepping for a game, right? Getting ready to go into a game. I know for me as an athlete, 4,000 pro snaps and 1,000 college reps as a starter, it was always the same, kind of being human, being in the moment. But like I had the same thoughts everybody else was having. I just was able to focus them. What was your prep like going into a game?
My thought processes were, okay, let's make sure that I'm not getting too caught up in the game to where I'm losing focus on the fundamentals that will help me play well and perform well. So what I started doing was, so pregame in college, I never went on the field prior to, the team going out to do the team stretch and all that. But once I got in the pros, I started going onto the field, and what I would do, I would just go through those fundamental things. You see me in the corner of the field in my stance. You see me taking read steps, and me visualizing that the offense is moving to the right. I got to take my read steps, and I've got to burst to the right. Or they're moving to the left. I got to take my read steps and move to the left, assuming that it's in the run game. And then what I would do is I would take those same fundamentals and then apply them to the passing game aspect of the game. So I would take a 45-degree drop and make sure I'm set up. Or I would envision that the quarterback is going quick game where he's going to get rid of the ball real quick. So I would take my read steps and that boom, I'd burst out flat to the right or flat to my left, as if I'm breaking to a slant or one of those quick underneath breaking routes. So that's what I would do. And I found that when I did that, just reinforcing those fundamentals and how I wanted to play in those situations, it helped me perform at such a high level.
And that's a great point for young athletes on a couple levels. In order to own a skill, you can't just learn it once, right? There's a great saying that I love, that amateurs practice a skill until they get it right, where pros practice it till they can't get it wrong. And what you're talking about is repeating reps, doing it over and over. I mean, how often should young athletes be practicing these skills?
I think it should be on a daily basis. If you're playing linebacker, you're playing middle linebacker, you should be practicing those basic fundamentals every single day, I think. And it only helps slow things down. For a young player, young players play better when things feel like they're slowed down. All too often when young players get into a game, especially when they're really young, they come to the sideline and go, as a coach, you're asking, hey, what are you seeing? What did you see this action here, coach? Everything's moving so fast. It's like, whoa, okay. Well, how do you slow things down for especially a young football player is to bring it down to the fundamentals, bring it down to their key reads, bring it down to where eye placement, what they're seeing, and then things start to slow down for them. Then they can express themselves as a player, as a young athlete. And that's what I found has helped a ton. And that I'm talking about kids from the youth level up to NFL players. Same thing, same drills, same thing. And guys' performance has always gone to another level.
Let's face it, as a linebacker, if you don't tackle, you don't play. Don't forget, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and give us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Use Hardy's tips to help you slow down the game, make better tackles, and become a better linebacker. Talk to you again soon.